back on the Bossman show with ETSU Bucks head coach Jason Shay, fresh off a victory down here in Macon, Georgia. We're up 75. Very happy last night. Coach, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Coach, I'm doing
Awesome.
good. A little bit chilly, Coach, but I'm good.
I see that you're all bundled up, and it was crazy weather up here. We had 65 one day, and then the next is down in the 30s, and then it snowed. So it was good, but yeah, it was a good ride home last night. Yeah, we played hard and played well, and made that 5.5 hour trip back home and getting back at 3:30 in the morning a little bit more easier.
You got that right, Coach. Which last talked to you when you first got hired, man, in the summer. How has this journey been dealing with COVID and trying to get a season together your first year? That knowing you've been there a long time, of course, but now it's your show with all of this uncertainty. How was that for you and your staff and your players, man, to get ready for this whole thing with knowing what you had faced coming to this year here?
Well, it's been a challenge for sure. It's not been smooth sailing. We've had guys that have had things that have gone on at home that they're worried about. Then we're trying to deal with staying negative as far as the testing goes here, and we've been on pause 3 or 4 times. Just the challenges that come with that, and them trying to still be student athletes and just enjoy their college experience when they've had to be in isolation. And so it's been challenging. And then after the pause, just trying to get your team back in some type of playing shape. You lose a lot of conditioning. You lose a lot of timing. Basketball is such a rhythm game. And when you're out for extended periods of time, it gets to be a challenge. We struggled early with offense because we had been on pause. And so it's been difficult, learning a lot of lessons in my first year as a head coach. So hopefully it'll make me better moving forward.
Coach Forbes didn't put that in the book for you, did he?
No, he didn't. He didn't leave me that playbook on how to deal with the pandemic.
I'll tell you what. Now, Coach, you have an older roster for as your top 7, 8 guys are older guys. So did that help you with all the stops and starts and the adversity? Because they're a little older. They're not 18, 19 years old per se. So they kind of been through some things already. So having an older roster, that kind of help as you had to deal with these pauses, stopping and starting, not playing, postponing a game or cancellations. Has that helped out a little bit for you guys?
It has somewhat, having that college experience and understanding the difficulty and what it takes to win games, the day-to-day operation of playing hard. It's been a little bit difficult because I do have 11 new guys. So guys that haven't been part of the ETSU program or part of the model and blueprint that we had put together. So it's been tough, but it hasn't been as difficult having younger guys because I've had older guys that have been through it and they understand, what college basketball is all about and hopefully what it takes to win.
No doubt. And, Coach, I think that's very key because, trying to build a new team with 11 new guys and it's on Zoom. They can't have them in person with you. Trying to develop relationships and camaraderie and chemistry that you need on the court via Zoom. Tell us about that process and what did you all do to kind of curb that and kind of bring the guys closer together, even though they was apart for a good while there before they came back to your great city up there in East Tennessee?
Well, I appreciate it. Zoom was difficult, and I just thought we needed to have some of those meetings. Obviously we had a lot going on in our country at the time when I got the job. So, we had 2 Zooms with 2 former Tennessee players that I coached, Tobias Harris, who was there in Philadelphia on the front lines with the Black Lives Matter and what he did. And those NBA guys, they just have a forum. They have a voice. They have an opinion, and they're able to get it out there. So I wanted our guys to talk to somebody like that. I also had them talk to C.J. Watson, even though C.J. is not in the league as much. Again, somebody that has an opinion. And, I quite honestly, I can't relate to the struggles that you or our players have on a daily basis just based on your color. So I wanted to get them involved. And then we had a Zoom with a local police officer that was also a black policeman, and just able his perspective coming from being a policeman, but also being a black man. And I just thought that was important. I wanted to show our guys that I support them, and I needed to give them some outlets and some resources that I just don't understand. I could see it, but I can't relate to it. So, doing that, we've done some Zooms, obviously, when we've been on pause, because I've tried to get them to stay in some type of shape when they've been isolated in their rooms. And, my strength coach has done a great job in giving them body weight things that they can do in their rooms. And then he was able to, when the CDC changed guidelines a little bit, he took a stationary bike and a few weights and whatnot to their rooms to help minimize the loss that they were going to have because we couldn't get in the gym as much. So.
And coach, I think it's so good because even for me with my interns, who I'm in my 30s, they're 18 to 20 years old. Hearing their experiences was good for me as well because I feel like it made me a better leader. Because hearing from a young man from England, a young man from Africa, a young lady from France about their experiences. And I'm like, wow, I had no idea it was global. The things that we had deal with here, it's not kind of different, but it's also similar as well. I was so touched and pleased because, it made me a better leader, better person in knowing that, hey, I need to engage more with my people and know more what the perspectives. I know what I dealt with in Atlanta growing up here in Atlanta, but it's different from everywhere else. Even in Georgia, South Georgia, different from North up here in Atlanta. So, Coach, you're so right, man. Those Zooms, man, really help you learn about your teammates and in my case, my intern staff, because it brings you close together because you all have the same common bond, which is, for me, it's the radio show. For you, it's winning a game because you're pulling an ETSU jersey. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Hispanic, indigenous, Asian. You're just about winning for the Bucks.
Sure, and we all have a story, and that story is different. And like you said, coming from different regions of the country, coming from the country, coming from the inner city, coming from the suburbs, you have different experiences. And for us to be able to, we got to hear those, and we got to create a platform so that we can learn from each other and move forward. I guess the one thing, it's difficult for me because I had black friends. But I grew up in a small town. However, the one thing I've learned in this business and in life is, you don't do this on your own. So you need people to help you. So what does it matter what religion you are, what color you are, how old you are? We're all trying to improve our status or get better. So because if I were somehow to fail and have to come down that mountain, I'm going to need them same people that help me get to the top of that mountain when I come down. So I just struggle with why there's such hatred. I just don't get it because we all need each other to be successful.
And Coach, it's so funny you say that because for me, growing up in Atlanta, in the inner city that I grew up in the poor part of town, man, I didn't meet my first white kid. I was 7 years old, Coach, playing travel baseball. Now, I wasn't exposed to any other races until travel baseball. I got to meet a Latino kid, an Asian kid, watch some white kids. And they're my friends from travel baseball because of baseball and sports. Coach showed me at 7 years old a different perspective in 1994. I just want to travel around and play baseball on the weekends. I didn't care what race we were. I just wanted to travel and play baseball and get out of Atlanta get out of the hood per se for a while, Coach. All I cared about all the weekends being gone playing ball and winning games, man, having a good time.
Well, and sports gave you that vehicle, and it's given me a vehicle and a platform to try and help my players, achieve their dreams to the best of their ability.
And coach, I love your team because you play seven guys strong, but you got that strong bench presence in Ty and David come off the bench for you, man. Tell us about those super subs you have, man, because they play big minutes, but they play such a big role for your team and helping where you do your rotations with your guys, man. Tell us about Ty and David, how they really help your team, man, bringing the energy for you off the bench there.
Well, they're two transfers. They David came from Kansas State, and Ty came from southeastern Louisiana, and so their experience helps. And David played at John Logan Junior College too, so he's had a wide range of experience. But he's played against great competition in junior college, and then playing in the Big 12. So he's went against the Kansases, the Baylors, the Texas Techs, and the challenges that you face every night in the Big 12. So that has helped, and he's beginning to play better for us and having a command of the game as a point guard. He's been an exceptional passer throughout his career. Now he's limiting his turnovers, but he'll make some passes that you'll be like, wow, that not many people can see those other than to have a high level of skill. And he scored the ball a little bit for us. He's got that combo mentality. Scored a couple big baskets for us down the stretch late in the game last night. And then Ty, he's just energetic. He's 6'7". When he is flying around on the court, he makes us better. He gets us extra possessions. We tell him to try and be Dennis Rodman like. Just inject your energy, infuse it into the game, and you'll have an impact. So many times I think kids think they need the basketball to show their impact, but he's been able to impact it on the offensive glass. He's gotten the passing lanes, and then when he's had an opportunity on the offensive end, he's taken advantage of it. Those two guys' efficiency numbers are going up, and then it allows our starters right now, so to speak, to rest. I coached a long time, 10 years with Coach Pearl. And one of the things that made us good was that we had depth, and that we didn't have guys that played heavy minutes night in and night out, because over the length of a season, if you're playing 35 minutes, it can wear on you. And so
Yes.
I think we've been fresher. And so those two help with our depth so that we can stay fresh.
And coach, you have I tell you what, man, having that bench presence is always good to have it because you need an energy off the bench. And also, coach, I tell you what, 17 games this time of year is not what you're used to. So you're still building this team. You're still getting better every day because you just want to peak when it comes to that tournament in March in a month. So I feel like you got a good start in conference play. You're up near the top of the standings with Wes and his team up there in Greensboro there. So I feel like, coach, you're in a good spot. You're still getting better, and you're winning while you're getting better.
We are. We had a setback on Monday against Wofford. The top four teams in our league are always really good. And it's been Greensboro, it's been Furman, it's been Wofford, and it's been ETSU. And but we're learning from each game, and we can learn from our wins and our losses. We took our loss on Monday against Wofford, and we've had these short preparations because of the pandemic and having to make up some games, but we're learning. And, maybe some people would have not practiced as hard as we did on Tuesday in preparations for Mercer's game, but I felt there were some things in the Wofford game that we needed to correct. So we had not a lengthy practice, but we did go hard, and maybe that hurt us early in the beginning of the Mercer game. We looked like we were playing in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains. The oxygen was low, and we were sucking gas, and we were moving like we were in quicksand. But to my guys' credit, they persevered. They fought through the fatigue. They had some fight in them. I told them at halftime, you either are a fighter or you're a quitter. We're going to find out which one you are. And so, every opportunity is a chance to learn, failure or having success. And that's just been my goal. Can we continue to get better and play our best basketball as we get down the road here and towards the end of the year when it's important. And then can you play in those meaningful, magical moments in March that everybody dreams about?
Coach, you got your rival, in-state rival, UT Chattanooga, coming up your way this Saturday. Lamont Pearson's team, they had a good non-conference season, not so much SoCon play, but always a tough out. Lamont and his guys over there, man. So we're looking forward on film, seeing for those guys when they come to see you guys Saturday.
Well, Lamont always does a good job. You know, he coached under the Bo Ryan tree, and they're going to play solid defense and try and stay in front of you and make it difficult. Not going to try and limit your threes, make it tough in and around the basket. Then they're going to do a good job of playing inside-out basketball. You know, because I had that scout, and I always worried about they're going to throw the ball in the post. They're going to throw it to 1 through 5. They, you know, that's their style of play. So when you do that, you put pressure on the defense, and now you put the onus on the officials, and so fouls become a problem. And I always worried about foul trouble. And then, you know, they do a good job and they spread it around. They've got pretty good balance on the offensive end. So, again, another challenge that's different. You know, there's a lot of different styles of play in the SoCon that get you ready, you know, for postseason. And so just another quality basketball team that's, you know, probably his best team so far, even though they've had a few hiccups here early in the SoCon conference play. As you said, they started, I think they were undefeated in the non-conference. So they're capable. They're understanding how to win. And so it'll be a good ball game, and it's always exciting for, I'm sure, for both fan bases, but I know our fan base, it's a rivalry. There's some people that dislike Chattanooga.
It's the I-75 rivalry you guys got in Tennessee up there, man. And I'm pretty sure on the recruiting trail, too, you all go after some of the same guys, because I know that's probably a battle, too. So who wins those 2 games, you're kind of matters in their kids' mind. Okay, I want to go with the Bucks or with the Mocs. So we'll see how it goes.
Right. It's good. It's good, healthy competition. And, you know, I just respect all the coaches in the SoCon. They all do a good job and do what they need to win ball games.
That's one for your coaches is, what was your quarantine hobby? Mine was playing the guitar and hiking around the Georgia trails. What was your quarantine hobby, Coach?
Well, I needed to drop a few lbs, so I got a nutrition consultant, and you know, I did a diet, so I lost 42 pounds, and then got a Peloton, and we did a little bit of hiking. Obviously, we're in the Appalachian Mountains, and so got out away from people, got up there on a couple trails, and so so I would say, you know, some hiking. I got my fat ass on the bike. And I lost a few lbs.
Coach, I need to do the same thing, man. Look, I've been slacking off, Coach. I've been eating too many wings, man. And Wingstop. I gotta stop that, Coach.
That'll get you real quick. They add up real fast.
Yes, hey, being in the house, going to Wingstop. I love tacos as well. So I told myself I gotta chill out, man. I got you.
You're a lot like me. My family, we love Mexican, so we're gonna have some Mexican. But I always we got a Wild Wings cafe here, so I'm gonna eat me some wings. My radio show's there, so it's a problem. But when I'm in town and the season, it's hard. We're on the road a lot, so that's where I suffer. But when we're in town, I try to get back on my diet for a few days. So
I hear that, Coach. But Coach Shay, thank you for your time as always. We're gonna catch up with you again, Coach. Good luck to you Saturday when Lamont comes in town and see you, man.
All right, Jay. I appreciate it. It's always enjoyable.
Anytime. Be good, Coach. Talk to you soon, buddy.
All right. Thank you. Go Bucks.
Thanks, now.